Hi guys, thanks for coming today. We are on week, am I right? Week six?
Week 6 already.
Week six. And today is going to be all about stress, sleep, and emotions. I am super excited to share all this stuff with you because it's all great stuff. And who is not dealing with some version or form of stress or sleep deprivation or having to manage their emotions in the times we are in right now. So it's a very important topic. I'm going to start first with just a little bit of housekeeping. um, I want to make sure you guys we're all on the same page. So if you need to chat, which we want you to chat because I'll tell you in a second, if you're on your mobile phone, just tap your screen and you should get this little bar. Make sure you tap on participants. You'll get a little chat option, hit chat, type something and hit send. And if as we're going, you see little numbers pop up in that little participant bubble, that means someone has chatted and you want to maybe pop in there and see what people are saying. The reason we want you to participate during the class is because if you participate and in the class as well as complete Google Forms that Amanda is sending out links for, you will earn a diffuser if you participate in all 8. And we are giving you the option. The classes are able to be replayed all the way through June 9th. And then we're going to have a big celebration on June 10th, hopefully in person for the people who are local, but over Zoom for the people who aren't. And there will be a big celebration. We're going to work on getting, hopefully, maybe Amanda, some little certificates or something so that they have a little graduation something. And then we are going to give you guys the choice of a free diffuser. You get a couple of choices to pick from. This is information where you can reach Amanda. You've got her email, her YouTube, as well as her dedicated Doterra phone number there where you can reach her. And we do love our community. Our little Doterra family is a wonderful community. We have a couple of Facebook groups that we would like you to be aware of. One is our essential oil page, which you do need a Doterra account to be a part of, but it is a big group where you can ask questions and get responses. So that's one. If you want to join that, please let us know if you haven't been invited to that yet. And then our group, or Amanda's group, which is the Enamored with Nature Oil Education Group, you do not need a Doterra account. It's a little bit more fun and relaxed, and it has a lot of information to help moms with kiddos and just all kinds of fun stuff. But this one is a great one. If you happen to share oils with someone and they're somewhat interested with oils, this would be a great group to just kind of plug them in so that they can start seeing what's out there. Also, if you are new and you did not get something like this in an email, it's kind of a welcome letter with all kinds of useful links and information to all kinds of great resources. Let us know and we'll get that to you. Awesome. I think that's all of the housekeeping. Is there any other housekeeping you could think of? All right. Awesome.
Oh, actually, I did think of one more thing. We the Google form, I did just put it in the chat, but actually, no, I don't have to show it to them. You're good. Sorry, I didn't need to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's okay. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and jump into today's class. So if you have the class link, I would love you guys to follow along with me. I will warn you, I am going to jump around just a little bit. So if it looks like I'm not quite following the order, I'm not. I'm a rebel that way. So, but as I get started, I'm going to ask you the first question as I kind of introduce here. I want you to go ahead and answer it in the chat for me. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is the current environment causing you to feel stress, lose sleep, or have difficulty managing your emotions? From a 0 being not at all to a 10 being this is a big problem. And I'll just say it off the bat. If you say 0, then we need to switch places. You guys should be the ones teaching this class, not me. So, but I think right now I'm probably about a 6. So I think I'm managing, I feel like we're coming out of everything that's going on right now in the environment and in the world. And so I think I'm down to a 6, but I know people are still very stressed out there. So just go ahead in the chats, let me know where you're at, and we'll get back to that in a minute. But I did want to say, so why are emotions let's get started. I mean, why are emotions so important and why is sleep and managing stress so important is because of the hypothalamus. That is a little tiny control tower in your brain. And when you're stressed, it orders your brain to send out stress hormones. And these hormones are designed to protect us. But when we don't get them under control and they are prolonged and they just kind of go on and on, kind of like we've been going on and on now for over a year with everything going on in the world, it can have very devastating effects, both physical and mental well-being. And let me tell you, last year I worked for the elections, and our biggest election, we went 14 days straight of 12 plus hour days. Like some days were 14 to 16 hours, and I was barely getting like 4 hours of sleep. And we would, turn around and go back to work. And it is, speaking of devastating physical and mental effects, you get to a point where you almost can't control what comes out of your mouth anymore. You're just so exhausted that you can't even think straight, and it's very debilitating. And so it's really important to be able to manage stress so that you can sleep well, so that you can manage stress. Basically, it's a big circle, but it can be really, really bad for us. And some of the symptoms of chronic stress include irritability, anxiety and depression, headaches, insomnia, poor immune function, and increased blood pressure. So I want to jump down to what I like to call it's on the second page, the Doterra mood matrix. So why I like to start here is because I feel like if you can manage the daytime stress, then when you get to sleep, you'll be in a better place to get better sleep. So with that being said, this is a fun little mood matrix that has just a few oil suggestions that you can reach for when, depending what mood you're in during the day. So as you're going through your day, you can kind of ask yourself, am I feeling fatigued? Am I feeling stressed? Am I lacking in peace? Am I lacking in passion? And then start looking at these oils. So maybe you're fatigued and you have no peace. You're feeling stressed because of everything that's going on. So maybe Serenity is an oil that you can reach for, and it'll help with calming, composing, kind of placating your mood. It's just very calming. It's a great oil for calming. If you're feeling no peace, but you're also stressed, maybe not quite fatigued, but just stressed, and you just can't calm down, Balance is a great grounding, reassuring, calming oil. It's actually, I carry it everywhere with me. It's one of my favorite oils. And I will, remind me if I don't tell you guys later, I will give you the code word, which is going to be a secret ingredient I have in my Touch Balance roller, but not yet. So the other couple of oils that you could reach for is, if you're kind of feeling a lack of passion and you're fatigued, Citrus Bliss is a great oil to help invigorate and just pick up your mood and help you feel better. I just like with Wild Orange, I don't think I've ever put Citrus Bliss or Wild Orange in anyone's hand and not had them automatically breathe it in and smile. Just it's like a smile in a bottle. It's amazing. And Citrus Bliss is like Wild Orange, just multiplied by 10. Then if you're stressed and you have no passion, Elevation is a great one also to lift your mood. It's encouraging and cheering. So the reason, like I said, I like to start with the mood matrix is if you can kind of be in tune and be checking in with yourself throughout the day to see and asking yourself, where am I? And start managing your mood and your stress throughout the day. Then when you get to nighttime, it's going to be a lot easier to manage your sleep. So if you're reaching for all the things, like what's in here, and people have suggested stuff, if Amanda and I have suggested some oils for you, and you're still finding like this isn't quite working for me, then another place, the next oil to reach for, and our biggest suggestion would be the Adaptive Collection. Adaptive is a blend it's a newer blend that was introduced recently. They're meant to work together. It's a collection, it's capsules, an oil, like a undiluted oil, and then a touch roller that's already been diluted. The oils, as much as they're all a family and they're similar, they are different. Each product is a little different. So the oil is not meant for internal use, but it has a great blend that's calming and relaxing. And it's even like I hear people like at PTSD type levels of stress get a lot of relief from adaptive from the oil. The capsules are actually blended slightly differently than the oil. They use a blend that's specifically targeted to helping you calm down and relax. In fact, it has GABA in there that helps the brain and kind of supports the brain and helps calm. And then the touch roller, the adaptive touch roller is just the oil that has been diluted. So the way they're meant to work is you want to use the adaptive capsules kind of like your maintenance, so like an everyday thing. And you want to use the oil to diffuse in your home, maybe at night when you want to sleep, or just throughout the day to help manage your mood. And then the touch roller is the one you would kind of carry with you for emergencies. So whenever there's a stressful situation or something comes up and you just need to kind of adapt to the moment, you would go ahead and use that touch roller to help you relax. And all the whole thing, like the capsules, they help promote positive, calm feelings. They support mood. They're encouraging and relaxing. They support cognitive function. They're just a bunch of great things. And then the oil, same thing. It helps support your mood, and they add together as a system. They work great. Awesome. So once you have your day under control and you've been able to manage the stress of the day, then we can start talking about nighttime. And I wanted to read here. It says 70% of problems with sleeping are related to psychological issues. 15% are environmental and 15% are medical. So the increased cortisol levels means that from stress that we're talking about trying to manage mean that melatonin levels will not be able to rise as they should to promote restful sleep. And so that's why I feel like it's so important to make sure that you're managing your mood and your stress throughout the day so that when you do get to the nighttime, you're at a better balanced place. So with that, I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute. And I just wanted to say, because like the environmental and these other things are so much smaller, really we need to look at what can we control that's going to help us sleep better. So oils are great, but they can't always do everything. So I want you to think about maybe setting up a schedule or a routine. A nighttime routine is going to go a long way with helping you get to sleep better at night. And one of the things that helps me to sleep is we diffuse, on guard, and breathe every single night. And so as soon as that diffuser starts and I start smelling that blend, immediately my body knows, okay, it's time to sleep. And so I kind of get everything starts relaxing and stuff. So maybe create a schedule where you give your body triggers like, okay, once I turn this off, once I do this, once I do that, it's starting to be bedtime. And we do that with kids, right? To help get them into a routine. So we kind of need to do that for ourselves a little bit. We want to eat healthy as best as we can. It's just because it's something we can control. The better nutrients we give our body, the better our body's going to perform for us. We want to exercise if we can. A lot of times exercise will get us tired that we actually want to sleep. So, again, just something you can control. So the more you can do it, the better. And then limiting screen time. And I'm kind of talking to myself when I say that. I'm kind of like, I am notorious for turning my screens off about 30 seconds before I go to bed, which is really bad. One of my consistent goals, it was actually one of my New Year's kind of like goals for the year, is to get into a consistent habit of turning my computer or my screens, whatever, phone, iPad, whatever it is, off at least 30 minutes before I go to bed. And that way it's another trigger for my body to know, okay, the screens are off, time to sleep. And there's so much else that I could do that I just don't reach for. So I need to try to do that. But once you kind of get a routine going, if you can do that, then we can start looking at adding some oils to that to help us. So let's look at some regimens that we can put together oil-wise. So the first nightly regimen we suggest would be using Serenity Softgels. They help calm the nervous system and they promote healthy relaxation and sleep. And you combine those with copaiba soft gels. That copaiba helps just calm and soothe anxious feelings, and it promotes homeostasis and rest. So that combination is a great combination to take at night before you go to sleep. Did I miss some questions, Amanda?
Well, we did mean to answer to find out, like who's super stressed, and our darling teacher Claudia says she's at a 10, as most teachers are these days. That's kind of crazy. Vivian says she's a 7. I know I typically feel like I'm somewhere between a 6 and a 7 myself, and I even do use a lot of oils. So it's just, it's kind of a sign of the time, so to speak. There's just always a lot going on, right? And
yes.
I'm loving the info that you're giving, especially I feel like it's very similar to how Doterra does it, where Doterra is great about helping us be educated about essential oils, but they, like, if you read some of their articles or some of their advice or things about healthy habits, they are always including the kind of things that you're just saying here. Like, let's habit stack about our screen time, let's habit stack about our like the food we're getting, like less sugar at nighttime, being conscientious of those kinds of things and setting up this kind of routine. So I really love what you're sharing. So, okay. I think you're doing awesome on the other questions. So take it away.
I did see one question I missed, which was when I talked about the matrix. Let me pull that up again, just a minute, so you guys can give it a look and give me a quick answer. I was already there. Nope, down. Hold on. Which of these oils, as I mentioned, as I talked about it and shared a little bit about it, which of these oils is calling to you? Is there one in particular that you're like, I think I really need this one right now? Like, was it Citrus Bliss, the invigorating, or maybe Balance, the grounding? I'll leave that up for a second and I'll let you guys answer before I kind of keep going. And I'll go for a little bit more before I'll pause and look at your answers. So we were looking at the nightly regimen. So the first regimen we recommend is taking the Serenity gel caps and the copaiba soft gels. And actually, an interesting fact about the Serenity gel caps as well as the Serenity oil is that you can actually use the Serenity soft gels and the Serenity oil as a calming supplement or oil throughout the day. It's not just a nighttime oil. So it can actually help calm your nerves and your emotions throughout the day. So you can try to take a Serenity soft gel in the morning and see how that works for your daytime. If you really feel a lot of stress and you need to kind of mitigate that and address that. If you find that you're too sleepy, then you could instead do like an adaptive in the morning and keep the Serenity at night. And so that's just a little helpful tip about Serenity. If that doesn't seem to work, then you can also try instead doing adaptive with copaiba. Again, adaptive is calming and relaxing. It promotes positive feelings. So it's a great one to take at night before you're going to sleep. And taking them together with copaiba, a lot of people find like great results with that. Then the other one is kind of a surprise. It's actually a beauty complex or a beauty supplement. It's not really marketed as for sleep, but the Yarrow Palm Cellular Beauty Complex capsules, those are ones that are actually really good for sleep. They support cellular health, but they also support the brain as well as the skin, but they help balance hormones, which then help balance and calm stress and anxiety. So overall, they end up kind of indirectly helping with sleep. And actually, I will tell you, this is my mom's secret ingredient. When I give my mom some of these, she tends to sleep a lot better. So it's kind of like the just the cherry on the cake for her to get her over the hump of sleeping. So this is one you'll want to remember for your Google form. It is kind of the beauty supplement that helps with sleep that you wouldn't expect. So remember that, and I'm going to stop sharing a minute and see what did people say about the matrix.
Interestingly, everyone is saying citrus bliss. Is that hilarious? I do love the elevation. I tend to enjoy mine combined with a little bit of spearmint, but there's something about the citrus bliss and that little bit of extra vanilla note that's along with the clementine and the tangerine and the mandarin and the wild orange and all those things that really do make it pretty wonderful.
Yes, it is. It is. And there's something similar to citrus bliss in here, but it's not citrus bliss, but it's close.
I'm
All
so
right.
curious.
So hopefully I won't forget to tell you guys and it won't be a bummer. All right, let's talk about diffusers. So we've talked about oils we can use. We've talked about supplements we can use. We've talked about setting up a routine. So let's talk about diffusers. I will tell you the diffusers will not work if you keep them in the box. So I will encourage you, please, 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 if you haven't been brave enough to open up your box and take out the diffuser, start there. Open it up, take it out, put it where you want to use it. I have one in my bedroom that, like I said, we diffuse it every night, and that's my brain's trigger. It's time for bed. We have one in Tony's office that he uses. I actually have one right here behind me right now. We have one in the car. So wherever you want to use your diffuser, make sure you put it there. I suggest if you have a bottle of water, you can keep next to it, put a bottle of water next to it so you don't have the excuse of I have to go all the way to the kitchen to fill it up, because that's me. If it's not easy, I'm not going to fill it up. So I like the idea of keeping a bottle of water close to the diffuser so you can fill up your diffuser. Then put your oils that you want to use in the diffuser next to the diffuser. That's another great way. So you don't have like your diffuser in one place and you have to walk all the way to the other room to get your oils, because I'm lazy. I won't do it. So I keep my oils right next to the diffuser. I will tell you for blends, and I am going to show you some blends in a minute. If you come across blends that have a lot of oils in them, like 10 to 12 drops or something crazy like that, I suggest that you make a bigger blend of them and maybe an empty oil bottle. Go ahead and make a little like master blend, if you want to call it, maybe double the recipe and get a couple of multiplications of it in there, and then use that to put just a couple of drops in your diffuser. You don't need a whole lot in the diffuser. If you've got a little room, like my husband's little office, it used to be a little office, he would only need like 2 drops. In our bedroom, we only use about 4 to 5 because it's not a huge, gigantic bedroom. If you have a really big space, you can maybe do 6 to 8, but more than that, you can always add more if you feel you need more. It's better to go less and see how it feels and then add more as you go. But the main reason that I love diffusers is it is the easiest way to get oils not only into the air, but into people, especially people who maybe don't believe in oils, or who maybe need oils but don't realize they need oils. Maybe a cranky teenager, or a tired husband that just got home from work and maybe just needs a little joy and citrus bliss in his life, whatever it is. But it's a great way to get oils not only into yourself and into the air, but into people that maybe need them in your family. And so let's go ahead and look at some of the diffuser blend recommendations for sleep. All right. So here's some recipes. So like I said, here's one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drops of oil. So that just seems like a lot to me. Unless you've got a really big room, that seems like a lot. So I would suggest that you maybe double this and put that in a used oil bottle, and then just use 2 or 3 drops of that in your diffuser and see how you like it. And then, if you really like it, then you can, triple or quadruple it, and then just have it sitting next to your diffuser, ready to go whenever you want it. The adaptive in wild orange is really great. That wild orange, just that added little bit of citrus, just does something to the adaptive. But balance and wild orange, here it is, everybody. This is my secret recipe right here. This is what's in my balanced touch roller. I got this a couple of Christmases ago now. It was part of a trio, and I went through the whole balance thing. And when I refilled it, I did about 30 drops of balance and 10 drops of wild orange. And it just does something to the balance that it brings out the citrusy part of it in such a wonderful way. And the wild orange just just brings it to the next level. And it really does amazing things. It's so calming, but uplifting at the same time. I can't help but putting it on and smile, and then I feel calm and relaxed. So that is the secret ingredient, is wild orange in my balanced touch roller. But this is a great diffuser blend. In fact, that's what I'm diffusing right now behind me. So, but all of these, if I don't know if you want to screenshot them, these are all great, calming. They just help to just manage your mood throughout the day and at night before you go to sleep. So, did we have a question that I needed to get answers for? Are we good?
We're good so far. I just was going to throw in that wild orange is the oil of abundance. And so it really does go very well for so many things when we need just a little shift in our spirit. It's so great, especially added to balance, which is going to help us kind of just stay more even keeled anyway. So it's great.
Yeah. And didn't you say wild orange is supposed to be helpful for insomnia too?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's actually listed as one of the things for insomnia, and so I'm often adding it to. Well, you may be just about to get to it. So, but vetiver, which happens to be something that we typically don't always enjoy smelling, but we love it for its uses. But I love combining it with wild orange just for that reason, because insomnia is like I think somehow helps us kind of get back on the day-night schedule. Like if you're someone who typically stays up super late and you kind of got that kind of habit, it kind of knocks us back into that whole like, sunrise is this time, and oh, okay, it's time to go to bed now. So it's fantastic. It's a really good one.
Thank you. All right. So one last blend that I want to definitely point out is this Hibernation blend roller. It has some fabulous oils that help with sleep. So kind of ignore this for now. I'll give you some suggestions as to how to blend them up in a minute, but frankincense is just calming and soothing. And vetiver is what Amanda was talking about. It's just a natural tranquilizer, and it stops the mind chatter. So if you want to think of these two, the little pair, frankincense calms the mind and vetiver turns off the mind. So if you're one of those people who have problems sleeping because you end up kind of finally calming down, but then your brain starts going, you're like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I can't forget to do this, I got to do, and all that kind of stuff. One, I say keep a journal next to your bed to write it all down so you get it out and you're going to remember it, and it'll hopefully help shut down your brain. But two, vetiver, reach for vetiver. If you put a drop of vetiver on the big toe of your feet, it will, on the bottom of the big toe of your foot, it will really help to kind of shut that brain down and get you to calm down and go to sleep. So frankincense, vetiver, bergamot is great for calming agitation and stress. It's a natural sedative. Bergamot is one you can even put a drop in your tea, maybe at night before you go to bed. It's safe for internal use. And then Roman chamomile is another great one that's calming and relaxing. It soothes and clears the mind. You can put that in your tea as well and have some chamomile tea before you go to sleep. But it says here to do 20 drops of each in a roller bottle and top with fractionated coconut oil. That would be 80 drops, which even in a 10 milliliter bottle is seems a little high to me. So my recommendation would be, if you want to go 20 drops, I would, instead of topping it off with fractionated coconut oil, I would make kind of like a master blend. Get an empty bottle and put 20 drops of each, and don't dilute it, and use that as your kind of master blend to use a couple of drops of that in a diffuser if you want to diffuse, or put a drop in your hand and kind of rub your hands together and take a couple of deep breaths in to help get that into your system, and keep like a master blend. In a 10 milliliter roller bottle, I would suggest 10 drops of each, and then top off with fractionated coconut oil. You can even go less than that, because you could always add more oils later if you want, if you don't feel like it's working, but you can never take away once you do it. So I would do 10 drops of each in a 10 milliliter roller bottle and top with fractionated coconut oil, or I would do 5 drops of each in a 5 milliliter roller bottle and top off with fractionated coconut oil. So that's I don't know if you guys want to take a screenshot, if I've given you enough time to do that.
I'm going to pop in for a quick second. One of our attendees just put a little chat in, something in the chat about vetiver being really difficult to get out of the bottle. It's not your bottle. It's all good. Like vetiver happens to be, the viscosity is so thick compared to, especially to wild orange or something like that, right? And so don't be scared, and just try to be patient as you wait for it to, and sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, hey, it's been like 45 seconds. Come on now, So that's totally normal. That's how it also helps your brain to slow down when you have that mind chatter, all the things that you miss doing or whatever, and you just need to quiet it. You will love the moment it takes for you to get the vetiver out. By the way, I also love marjoram, especially if you ever have sleeping issues that are related to kind of like pain or tenseness. I like to put marjoram on my shoulders. And juniper berry, if you have issues with nightmares, you want to put some of that into your master mix that you're diffusing, or that even you can apply it as well too. And let me think, is there one more? Cedarwood is another cheap favorite. So most people tend to think of lavender as being, super calming, but like if you need something either more masculine or even cheaper than that, cedarwood is a really great one, and it's very, very calming. So.
All right. Let me share again. All right, so that's pretty much most of what we were talking about today. Let me talk about the Symphony of the Cells first, and then I'll talk about LRP, because I did have a couple of things I wanted to share in particular today with LRP options. So first of all, Symphony of the Cells. If you listened to last week's class, it was fabulous. It was all about Symphony of the Cells, so I won't get too much into it, but just in a nutshell, Symphony of the Cells is a process of applying oils to the back and to the spine, layered. So one oil on top of the other, and the different oils support different body systems to kind of help your body overall in a really powerful way. This particular, if you want to take a screenshot of it, this particular application is called the amoebic one. It's kind of for emotion. So it helps support mood and mind and things like that. And it's just really good. I've had it done and it's very powerful. So the little icons mean different things, but mostly it's like, if it's a nose, you want the person who's getting the application to smell it. The little hands are just for rose and jasmine, are oils that come in a touch roller. So instead of putting the drops on the person's back, you roll it on your hand and then apply it to their back. Feet is after you apply it on the spine, you put it on their back. So yeah, so it's, you watched last week's class, but this is a very powerful way to kind of really support all the body systems, and then kind of get a real good result for whatever it is you're trying to address. So that's Symphony of the Cells. And I just wanted to bring up this little picture here about a suggested sample wellness box, something that you might be able to order to kind of help address your sleep or your emotions, is this little suggestion here. It's your adaptive collection, some wild orange, which we've talked about being so great. It is the secret ingredient in my touch roller, the Copaiba soft gels, and then your balance oil, and this gets you to 131 PV. And why are we so interested in 131 or over 125 PV? So let me share a different screen so I can show you why. So we've talked a lot about LRP in the past, and that is why we want to make sure we get to 125 at least. If you are purchasing products in LRP and you purchase 125 PV or more, you will receive your free product of the month. This past month, it happened to be Clementine was the free product, which is an oil that you can't purchase normally. So it is it's kind of special. Sometimes it'll be oils that we can purchase, and sometimes it will be oils that we cannot purchase. So it just depends on every month. But if you are doing LRP, you also earn points back that you can use later. You start at 10%, and every 3 months that you purchase 50 PV, you get ticked up 5% until you get to 30%. And then those points are points that you can use dollar for dollar. What's really cool too is right now, recently, Doterra announced wellness programs. So you can pick an area of concern that you want to address, and get on this program. And it's a 3-month program. So month 1, you would get your first kit, and then month 2, you would get your second kit, and then month 3, you would get your third kit automatically. Now, don't be scared. You can pause if you need to. So like maybe you get kit 1 and you're like, I want to get used to these oils before I jump into kit 2. You can pause it. And then when you're ready, you turn it back on, and then you'll get the next month. And then if you want to pause again, you can, and then you can get the 3rd month. You don't have to do them one month after the other. So you're going to want to remember that for your Google form. So, but I wanted to also stress, there's 2 in particular. When they launched these programs, there was, excuse me, a mind and mood wellness kit, which is right up our alley with what we're talking about today. You get balance and adaptive, the touch roller, the gel caps, and then you also get balanced deodorant, which who doesn't need more balance in their life? Like if you can bathe in it, which you can, there's a balance bar, and you could put, put deodorant on in those areas where you have lymph nodes that are sucking all that great stuff in. Well, you might as well. So the first month is that. And then the second month, you get some black spruce, a lavender roller, 15 ml, you get the adaptive oil, and you get some wild orange. And then month 3, you get some more fun stuff. I'm not going to read it all off to bore you, but this is the 3-month kit. What's neat too is that after that, you can also add on each month that you do the kit, you can add on these, any one of these products, I think up to 3 at a discount, very similar to like the LLV that we've talked about in other classes. But what is even more exciting is recently, I don't remember how recent it was, but it was like within the last few months, right, Amanda? They announced the sleep wellness kit, which is a new kit. And it's got so many cool things. It's got your Serenity. It's got Cedarwood that Amanda was talking about. It's got the Serenity capsules. It's got some bath salts so you can relax at night. And it's got the kids calmer. I know when I did Oil for All Ages, we talked about how some parents have their own collection of the kids collection, and they have their kids collection because the parents love some of the kids oils even better than the adult versions of the oils. And Calmer is one of those. I really enjoy Calmer, which is the kids sleep roller. So that's what comes in the first month. Then the second month you get your Breathe, which is something about opening up the airways at night. You get some Copaiba, Petitgrain, which is kind of like a masculine version of lavender. You get Serenity Touch, Magnolia Touch, and you get a couple of exclusive gifts. And same thing in the 3rd month, lots of other great oils for sleep. You do get a gratitude booklet every month, which I guess more and more studies are showing that people who show gratitude are just and have a better mood, less stress, and all those kinds of things, just great positive results. But what is really cool about the add-ons for the sleep kit is there's this Mulberry silk eye mask that there's no other way that you could purchase this except by getting the sleep kit. So, but then you can add on all these other great stuff, including a diffuser, which is kind of neat. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out to you guys so that you knew that that was a possibility. It's something you can do if you want to address your sleep issues or your mood. You can, kind of turn off the guesswork, just pick a wellness kit and let Doterra send you the stuff that you need and go that way. So any questions? I think I touched all the questions I needed to ask, right, Amanda? Okay. Anybody have any questions before we keep going? No, you're all good? All right. Amanda, would you like to tell us about the 3 types of people that we have that come to Doterra?
Well, I know usually we have like representatives of each of these types of people on, and I'm sure that that's typically the case because many of us don't realize that we're starting out as one and then we progress to the next, the next. But the 3 types of people who love doTERRA are ones who just like to live the wellness lifestyle, who just want to feel empowered, just want to have a solution for something that's bothering them, to be able to get the education that doTERRA provides for this type of person, and be able to just feel healthier and help their family. And over 80% of people who have an account with doTERRA are that kind of person. They just want to live a wellness lifestyle. I ended up discovering that I was actually really, really had just outpouring. I had a really easy time sharing in order to get my products paid for, because I just really liked the essential oils and what they were doing for me. So I found out that I was the kind of person that when I was connecting with someone who had a headache or who was really like doubled over with cramps or something like that, I loved being able to hand them something instead of their 8 ibuprofen that they were trying already and things like that. And it just made me so happy. And so doTERRA actually, kind of unbeknownst to me, doTERRA supported me in that, because I started to get what's known as free natural healthcare with doTERRA, which means that my husband's wish was true, that he didn't want to spend not one dime on those essential oils and things like that. And so, to this day, for several years, I haven't had to spend anything from our combined budget, because what I have easily shared with friends has more than covered the kinds of things that we typically get when we are loving and using our oils. Now, I also found out that I was truly a type 3, which is the person who wants to build, to earn an income and make an impact. And I hadn't thought that I was, but I had a couple interesting experiences that showed me that that's really what was going on. And I actually, oddly enough, I actually just had an extra experience yesterday. Wait, no, day before yesterday was Tuesday and today's Thursday. But I've had it happen before to me where I have just this crux of emotion where, as a mom, I am struggling with this whole the child weeping, crying. I don't have a solution. I don't know what to do or whatever. I've tried several other little natural things or whatever. And then suddenly I start to use this essential oil, and it's like magic. Within 2 minutes, my kids stopped crying. My kids, happy. They're asking for food because they can think about something other than the pain. So in this case, you guys can come look at my Facebook or Instagram page. I had put this thing about when I was at the beach and one of my kids was stung by a jellyfish and just was crying. And I had tried like a lot of sometimes weird things. But lavender was this amazing thing. And I'm just, thinking through, what if I didn't have that? What if I didn't have these essential oils with me? What if they weren't part of my life? And I start to think about other moms who are not yet empowered with those essential oils. And I think that's not supposed to be the way it is. Like, I feel like it really is a mission for me that I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be sharing people how to become empowered with these natural solutions, these essential oils. And so that's ends up being type number 3. And so in the beginning, of course, I didn't know that's what it was, but I'm so thankful that doTERRA supports me, in this by a very, very generous compensation plan that can change, many things about how I have lived my life. And if you are type 2 or 3, then we'll need to talk a little bit more, because I have some extra fun that we can join in together if that's you. Do you guys actually know anything about the whole earning an income to make an impact kind of a thing? I typically tell this story about hauling buckets and versus building a pipeline. And you guys may have heard this already before, but the basic idea is there's a woman from the village whose job is to carry these buckets of water. And so each day she loads on the buckets onto this long pole, and she goes all the way down to the water source, and she, fills them up, breaking her back heck up the hill to be able to provide for her family by selling these buckets of water. And unfortunately, if something happens where she twists an ankle or a kid gets sick or something, she doesn't have that income anymore. And so she starts to realize, I need to be doing something all along. I need to be just, consistently and persistently doing something that will build to a residual income, so that if I do need to take a day off, or in the case of someone who feels like they may have even a higher calling of some sort, to be able to, to help a certain group of people, or to do this dream that they have wanted to do for a long time, they need that financial freedom to be able to do that as well. And that's the kind of thing that, really makes an impact. And, the day that pipeline that's been built over years and years gets that, when the spigot turns on and the water / money begins to flow in and frees up that woman who had been hauling all those buckets because she persistently started building that pipeline. That's what doTERRA is for me already, and can be for you as well. So what would it actually look like to build a pipeline? I mean, in terms of, like, it's not digging ditches and laying pipes, right? So the things that we do are sampling, teaching, enrolling, and supporting. So giving away oils for free, of course, just little bits of them, and then following up with the person to find out how it worked for them, finding out that they are thrilled with the results, and then, asking if they'd like to learn some more, having them in a Zoom call or something like that, and then helping them make some decisions to say, what is it exactly that I need to enroll with and open up my account, so that I can really be empowered too. And then after that point, being able to support them to be able to get that education that they need, so that they feel really, really confident using what they had got. And that's all that I do. And it's amazing that I earn more than just pay to be able to do that. I mean, there's a lot of free products that we all get. Many of us are getting some extra things just because we're loyalty rewards products, but there's even more that we can, get as little bonuses, incentives, and things like that when we're, sharing or building. I have loved the fact that I have really been improving my health. Typically us moms don't take very good care of ourselves, and I mean, even just the way I started off my life before kids, it really wasn't in a good place. And so it's amazing what kind of improvements I've already had. I love that I feel like I have a purpose now too. I mean, I mentioned to you, I almost feel like I'm on a mission really to empower courageous moms and their kiddos with these solutions, and that really makes me feel good when I hear somebody say that something that I've helped them with has changed their life. I love that. And then it's super important to me that I am representing a company that is making a very positive impact in the world, even if as we look at co-impact sourcing for sure, as we look at just the idea of taking ownership of our own health instead of leaving it up to other people. There's so many positive changes that are happening because of doTERRA and the choices that they make and how they educate and how they make that super available to people. And just the respect for the global community that we have, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So yeah, I would love to be able to connect with anybody some more for details. In fact, we do have a quick recording that we can send to you, but a little bit more in-depth look of what that would how that would play out in daily life if you wanted to look into taking the next step. And you can just put a little comment onto your Google form, which I hope you guys are getting ready to fill out before we jump off, or very, very soon after we jump off. Marcella, is there anything else we need to go over?
We forgot to mention that for all the people who are here live today, they get to win. Not all the people, sorry, one person, one lucky winner. Although, I mean, do we give one to everybody this one time?
Could be. I've appreciated that people have been putting in some sweet little comments here and there, and more than just the typical questions inside.
Okay, I feel generous. I think we should give everybody a sample today of Serenity. But here's the catch. I don't know that we've made this very clear, but so people have been winning throughout the classes. So we are, because you're winning and you're coming every week and you guys are filling in your Google Forms and all that kind of stuff. If you have come live and you have won something, you will get your samples at the end when you get your diffuser. So everything will go with your diffuser. So don't be discouraged that you haven't gotten anything yet. It will come when you earn your diffuser, because I know you guys are all going to earn diffusers. But yeah, let's say tonight everybody gets a sample of Serenity. So make sure when you fill out your Google form that you write in there that you're getting us that Marcella gave you all a sample of Serenity. All right,